Hey guys, Kevin Cage back with another cryptocurrency video and some daily and weekly news regarding Ripple XRP. If it's the first time to the channel, hit that like button if you like what you see, and let's get into the news. So, shared by Matt at Matthew Linney, L-I-N-Y on Twitter here. A few days ago, Japan to lead development of SWIFT network for cryptocurrency, and this was all in Tokyo. And this is pretty interesting, actually. So, as we know, Japan's government is leading a global push to set up an international network for cryptocurrency payments, similar to the major network that runs the world today, SWIFT, which is used by banks. And again, they want to create their own international network and in an effort to fight money laundering. And they always say that there's this huge stigma that cryptocurrencies is only used for money laundering, and that's why banks, want you to stay there. But again, the Modern Investor actually on YouTube made a great point the other day. He says, no, actually banks are realizing when you're taking your money out of their accounts and buying cryptocurrencies, they're realizing that that money will likely never be seen again if you're planning on holding, because you're going to take that money out of the bank and you're going to most likely put it on an exchange or a cold or hot cryptocurrency wallet. And that way that bank does not have that money in your account. So, of course, there's personal reasons for everything. And of course, they have this stigma, this narrative that we keep repeating that it's all, KYC, anti-money laundering, counterterrorism, things of that nature. But you really have to question why all of these articles, why these news groups are putting this out, because there's always greater interests at the end of the day, and everybody is human. So, interesting that Japan is always one of the first countries to take initiative. I say this all the time. I believe everyone agrees with me that, besides Southeast Asia, I think that Japan will probably kick off everything related to Ripple XRP, and it already has. So Tokyo aims to have the network in place in the next few years. And so this is going to be an international network for cryptocurrency payments entirely. And it's very exciting to see that. Now, again, it remains unclear how the cryptocurrency network would work. SWIFT is the international payments messaging system used by banks to send money around the world today. And notice how it says messaging system. Its settling system is still not effective, and that's where XRP will thrive. All right, so again, Tokyo is pushed to ensure the security of virtual currencies, hoping to leverage the financial technology industry to stimulate economic growth. Japan, and I actually just said this, Japan became the first country in the world to regulate cryptocurrency exchanges at a national level in 2017. And as it goes on to say, it remains unclear whether the network would meet resistance from users, given that the attraction of cryptocurrencies is, in part, in their unregulated nature. The lack of regulation is precisely what worries governments and central bankers. And again, the lack of regulation might worry them, but it's because it's taking money out of their pocket as well. There's always greater interests at hand. And then again, with Facebook's recent launch of Libra has gotten a lot of attention as well. So that's actually going to really push further development and regulation, because these countries, from a national security standpoint, they need to make sure that this money stays in the country, not globally. So there's always greater interests, and they're really going to regulate the heck out of Facebook. And I'll cover this at the very end, especially what Brad Garlinghouse has to say as well, and then my 2 cents. Next up, so thank you, Marshall Mo, for tagging me in this. This is really cool to see. So just a fun little publication here, Ripple and Stablecoins Building Banks of Tomorrow. So right here on Twitter, I'm just going to say the handle because I don't know how to pronounce the name, is Debbie, DEBIMR 75. And she goes on to say, people send over $155 trillion across borders. Among all the receivers, remains at the top. Reading my upcoming Building Banks of Tomorrow, this is a publication, and we got the website as well here. So BBP Publications, that covers Ripple architecture, products, development, use cases, stablecoins, and major adopters. So check this out. This is pretty cool. So right here, there's a publication you guys can check out. Again, I'm literally just referring this if you guys want to go see it. I don't have any links. Just go ahead and look it up yourself. It's pretty cool, though. So there's key features here. So know the inefficiencies of banks and international remittance and how Ripple can help. Learn Ripple's architecture and its product offerings, such as Xcurrent, xrapid, and xvia. Acquire development skills on Ripple's XRPL, the XRP ledger. Understand and apply all the features of XRP ledgers, or the ledger, such as direct and partial payments, escrows, checks, micropayments, and fees. Learn to integrate XRP Ledger with your traditional and blockchain-based solution in trade finance, e-auction, money markets, swaps, and more. operations of stable coins, and then know the wide spectrum of acceptance of ripple across the globe. So again, guys, this is pretty cool. I might actually get this just to read a little bit more about this and get a better understanding, but I just wanted to share that. Next up, XRP Neo. For those of you that don't know, he created this new blog, and he is one of the most prominent guys on Twitter in the XRP community. I really value his insight. Very smart guy, and he has a great understanding of, this opportunity that lies in front of us. So please check this website out. It is neospeculate.com. He has some great reads, and I want to go through this article briefly. So let's speculate. It's X-Spring, but it's pronounced Spring, could become the new ICO. And an ICO is an initial coin offering versus, when a stock goes public and IPO, just a different acronym for the cryptocurrency space. And so we just have a few paragraphs here, and I want to kind of skim through this. But honestly, it's written so concisely that I might end up reading a lot of it because this is a very well-written article with some great points. So when it comes to the long game of XRP, I believe Spring is an amazing initiative that Ripple started. Ripple could focus on solving the cross-border payments issue, while the other use cases for XRP could be outsourced by Spring. And people say that, Spring and other groups like micropayments could hypothetically be even bigger, like thanks to Coil with micropayments and web monetization, they could be even bigger than the main problem that XRP was originally going to solve. That is insane to think, because all of us as speculators are really only considering Ripple's involvement. All right. So I believe this is highly underrated. It might not be something that bears fruit for quite some time, but Spring could be the catalyst for complete XRP dominance in the market. I truly believe that. So why do I believe Spring could be one of such importance? My personal belief is that XRP will become the only cross-border asset used in the market. All right. And I also believe that in terms of settlements, but I think there's going to be other use cases. I want to check out a little bit more about Quant, QNT as well, that digital asset with Overledger. I'm curious how they're going to, bridge value and work between, other corporations and their systems. So the reason being that in creating a truly efficient bridge asset, it would only make sense if only one bridge asset would be used on the XRP ledger. The whole financial system would benefit from this since cost is directly related to liquidity. If you have one super liquid asset that everything is transacted through, this would hold cost to a minimum. The issue today amongst fiat currencies is that liquidity is dependent on which fiat pairs is traded the most. There are actually not many fiat currencies that are liquid, but if all fiat currencies were transacted through XRP, this would create a much more liquid currency system than what we have today. Exactly. Various corridors. We're not stuck using, a limited amount of currency pairs, fiat pairs, and all of these other countries could thrive and develop their ecosystems as well in a timely manner and not get hit with fees. It would really create a level playing field. So I believe it is inevitable that one asset becomes the standard. At least that would be best for everyone. Liquidity matters. Why would this matter in the case of Spring? Well, this is my speculation, all right? Complete speculation, guys, but this is very well written and we have to consider this. So if XRP becomes the only bridge asset used in the market, it would then be much more liquid than anything else. Why would this matter? Again, look at the incentives for developers trying to make new crypto use cases by launching an ICO. First, they have to create the cryptocurrency itself. It could take years of development. Then they have to list the coin on exchanges. Then they have to make sure that it's sufficiently decentralized, make sure that it's traded, has a market to exist in. These are very difficult things to pull off for a small team. That's costly, time-consuming. After all of this, they also have to make sure that there is a real use case for the coin/token. The dark reality is that almost all cryptos will fail in the end and go to zero. All right, this is a very, very risky market. Some of you have been getting 10, 20x on certain projects and you're proud. There's no shame in taking profits, all right? Because a lot of these projects may go to zero if the use case doesn't click in or based on regulations. So please, please be careful, guys. This is your hard-earned money in any project. I'm extremely bullish on XRP, though, and you guys already know that. So what would be the benefit by getting XRP funding by Spring? Well, by utilizing XRP, you would not have to worry about the development of XRP itself. It's already decentralized, listed on exchanges globally, liquid, and highly traded. And this is just one of the plethora of reasons why I'm all about it, especially for, not only a return on investment, but getting a return of my investment. The risk that XRP would fail and go to zero seems less and less likely. And I agree. Many use cases could benefit from a crypto asset that is not volatile. By XRP becoming super liquid, it would not be volatile, but stable in value. This is something that cryptos in general are critiqued by, their volatile nature. And again, guys, we need more volume. We need a higher price, and then we can maintain that value at the end of the day. So this is something that cryptos are critiqued at. The team could focus on the resources on the actual use case instead. They could thus be much more efficient than if they had to do everything themselves. Ripple is planting seeds. This is what I believe is happening now. They're sowing the seeds for a whole ecosystem built up around XRP future. Excuse me for the stutter. And a clear case of this is Coil. And of course, I've already covered that, the micropayments. But this is a really cool thought. So this is a really great use case for XRP since micropayments could be used by everyone in everyday life. You could stream music through Spotify, read only articles you want to read online, pay for a small amount of drinks, and stream a single movie at a time and just pay for the movie in a micropayment instead of having to sign up one flat monthly rate with Netflix, for example. The sky's the limit. It could be used for car insurance based on how much you drive, etc. Instead of just having one monthly payment for everybody. It should be based on the actual utility and how much you use it, just like a phone. All right, so the sky's the limit. All this could be done through a simple click on a homepage that has enabled Coil integration. And of course, you can see Coil. I already have it up here running on Google Chrome. So not having to sign up to all of these services simultaneously. The consumer, would have a lot more control in what content they consume. And then lastly, network effects. So the more use cases being developed around XRP, the more likely it is that others will look to use XRP for creating a business as well, creating a network effect. And this is powerful, hence the name Ripple. I could see this really spread with Codius. And again, this is the smart contract platform. It can use any digital asset, but obviously XRP, it was built for XRP. So many different use cases around smart contracts could be developed around XRP. So I believe we might not really see what spring leads us today, or where it leads us today, but it could be really crucial that the seeds are planted now while we are still early. So other platforms will be based on cryptos that will most likely not be close to as liquid as XRP, and XRP is probably one of the most liquid assets today. They would be in a good amount of volume too, and we are just getting started. So they would also be subsequently much more volatile from a developer's perspective as well, which is another consideration we need. I have a feeling that their choice might be very easy to make in the future. I could thus see new businesses being created around XRP instead of launching a mere ICO in the future. Spring funding could thus become the new ICO. Not a financial advisor. This is a 100% speculative post, but you know what? I love when people voice their thoughts like this. So thank you, XRP Neo. Again, this is neospeculate.com. He has a bunch of great articles already, and he just started his blog. And then lastly, we're going to finish off with this. So Jack the Rippler shared this, and this is Brad Garlinghouse speaking on CNBC on the 18th, so just 4 days ago. And again, he says there has to be a level playing field for both new entrants as well as legacy entrants. I think is a fair playing field for everyone to play with. All right. And now what I want to kind of talk about is, so he's addressing his thoughts on Libra and, on the news more and more each week. So you're seeing Brad Garlinghouse talking with all of these big players, and something is going on. They're getting, more attention each and every day. So even if Libra is outlawed in the United States, Libra straight up said that they're not going to stop. Again, the Libra Association is based out of Switzerland. Facebook is a global company. They're not going to stop because one country told them no. That's fine. They'll go to the other countries where regulations allow, and they're still going to develop their digital asset. So they're going to go global regardless. And this is going to get a lot of attention. And you're going to start seeing these organizations doing this as well and using their own digital asset natively. And I'm going to tell you this again. Banks are creating their own, just like JPM Coin. I think we're going to see Goldman Sachs create their own native digital asset using domestically between their branches. And that we still need a transfer of value on the blockchain. Hence, a cryptocurrency, a digital asset that is trustless, decentralized, which is XRP. And that is speculation. But if you look at the options that existed today, what's been around: market dominance, scalability, speed, TPS, you know the deal. So again, guys, I'm going to try to crank out a few more videos. I got a lot of information that I've missed out on during this past weekend. Hopefully you like that. Comment down below your thoughts. Check out Neo's blog, and I will see you next time.